Hi everyone, today I'll solve the questions in the past paper IGCSE Mathematics 0580 in May-June 2023, and this is question paper 41. Question 1. A. An orchard has 1,250 trees. The trees are in the ratio apple to pear to cherry equals 12 to 9 to 4. The first one, calculate the number of apple trees. So first of all, we see that the total is 1,250 trees. And the total number, this is the total number of trees. And the total number of units is 12 plus 9 plus 4, which is 21 plus 4 equals 25 units. So 25 units is corresponding to 1,250 trees. And the apple is 12 units. This is the apple, 12 units. So 12 units is corresponding to how many trees? To do this, to find the number of apple trees, we divide 1,250 by 25 to find the value of 1 unit. Then we multiply by 12. And the answer is 600 trees. Second question. Last year in the orchard, the mean mass of the fruit produced was 64 kilograms per tree. Calculate the total mass of fruit produced last year. Give your answer in tons. So, last year, there were 1,250 trees, and each tree can produce 64 kilograms of fruit. So this is the total mass of the fruit, but the answer is in kilograms. And then, if you want to convert from kilogram to ton, you have to divide it by 1,000. So the answer for this is 80 tons. The third question. Last year, the mean mass of pears produced was 54 kilograms per tree. This was a decrease of 10% on the mean mass of pears produced per tree from the year before. Calculate the mean mass of pears produced by each pear the year before. So we see that there are 2 years here. This is the year before. And then this is last year. Last year, it produced 54 kilograms. And this 54 kilograms is a decrease of 10% from the year before. So, of course, the year before is 100%. And after a decrease of 10%, then last year's was just 90%. 90% of the year before. So we need to calculate the mean mass of pears the year before. And to do this, we will divide 54 by 90 to find the value of 1%. And then we multiply by 100 to find 100%. And the answer is 60 kilograms. The fourth question, the orchard loses 1/5 of its total number of trees. Loses 1/5. Calculate the number of trees that remain. So at the beginning you have 1 whole, and after you lose 1/5 of the total, then the remaining is 4/5 of the total. And according to the question 1, the total number of trees is 1,250. So we multiply this by 4/5 to find the remaining of the trees. And the answer is 1,000 trees. Question B. Paulo buys some pears from a market. Pears cost $0.54 each or 0.51 euros each. 1. Paulo pays in dollars for 12 pears. Calculate the change he receives from $10. So he pays in dollars for 12 pears. Now we find the change he receives from $10. So first, we'll find the cost of 12 pears. If he pays in dollars, he will pay 0.54 each. So the answer for this is $6.48. And if he give $10, then the change will be 10 minus 6.48 equals $3.52. So the answer for the first question is $3.52. Second question, the exchange rate is $1 equals 0.826 euros. Calculate how much more he pays for each pair when he pays in euros. Give your answer in dollars, correct to the nearest cent. So first of all, we see that if he pay in euros, this one, then for each pair, he need to pay 0.51 euros. And we need to know that this one is equal to how many dollars? To do this, we see that $1 is equal to 0.826 euros. And if we have 0.51 euros, then it is how many dollars? To do this, we will divide 0.51. You can say that you multiply by 1, then you divide by 0.826, and the answer is $0.62. And you see that if he pay in dollars, he should pay $0.54. But if he pay in euros, it will be $0.62. So the difference is 0.62 minus 0.54. And the answer for this is $0.08. $0.08. Question 2. The diagram shows a solid triangular prism ABCDEF of length 15 centimeters. This one is 15 centimeters. AB is 6.4 centimeters. AB is 6.4. EB is 5.7 centimeters. And the volume of the prism is 145 cubic centimeters. A. Show that the angle EBA is 32 degrees. This one, we need to show that it is 32 degrees. And you know that the volume of the prism is equal to the area of the cross-section, which means the area of the triangle AEB. Multiplied by the length. The length in this case is BC, which means we see that in the question the volume is 145 cubic centimeters, and we don't know the area of the triangle AEB. But we know that the length of BC is 15 centimeters. So from this, we can find the area of the triangle AEB. It is equal to 145 divided by 15 equals 29/3 cubic centimeters. And using trigonometry, you can find the area of the triangle AEB by the formula 1/2 AB times EB times sin the angle B. This one is equal to 29/3. Then we substitute the value of AB. AB is 6.4. EB is 5.7. And sin B is what we want to find. It is 29/3 here. So the angle B is equal to the inverse of sin 29/3 divided by 1/2 of 6.4 and 5.7. So this one is 32.003 degrees. And if you want to write it correct to the nearest degree, then it is just 32 degrees. B. Find the length of EA. EA is this one. From question A, we know that the angle EBA is 32 degrees. So to find the length of EA, we can use the cos rule. In the cos rule, we see that the sine EA squared is equal to EB squared plus AB squared minus 2 times EB and AB and cos of the angle B. EB is equal to 5.7. AB is 6.4 minus 2 times 5.7 and 6.4. Then we multiply by cos B. B is the angle we just found, 32.003 degrees. And then we'll take the square root of this. EA is equal to the square root of the whole of this. So it is 3.40 centimeters. C. Calculate the shortest distance from E to AB. The shortest distance from E to AB. So let's take a look at this. This is E, and the shortest distance is the line that is perpendicular to AB, starting from E. To solve question C, we can use the area of triangle AAB. It can be, I will call this one H. It can be calculated as 1/2 of EH multiplied by AB, 1/2 of the base times the height, and 1/2 of EH times AB is 6.4. And the area of this triangle is equal to, we found it in question A. The area of that triangle is 29/3. So this one is 29/3 cubic centimeters. Then EH is equal to 29/3 divided by 1/2 of 6.4. And this is equal to 3.02 centimeters. Question D. Calculate the angle BF max with the base ABCD of the prism. So BF is the blue line. This is BF. We want to find the angle that this side makes with the base. And from F, I also draw a line that is perpendicular to CD. Then I'll call this one I. And the angle that BF makes with the base ABCD is actually the angle that BF makes with the side BI, this one. this blue angle. And to find this angle, we see that FI is perpendicular to BI. This is a right angle triangle. So we can use shortcut to find the angle FBI. First, we see that the sine FI is actually the same as the sine EH, which is 3.02 centimeters. And then we can find the length of BF. BF is a hypotenuse in the triangle BFC. BFC is a right angle triangle too. In this triangle, BF is the hypotenuse, so it is the square root of BC squared plus CF squared. BC is 15 and CF is the same as EB. EB is 5.7. So this one is BF. And now we'll apply them into the triangle BFI. In the triangle BFI, BF is the hypotenuse and FI is the opposite. So we use opposite over hypotenuse, which means we use sin. Sin of the angle FBI is equal to opposite FI over hypotenuse BF, which means to find the angle FBI, we will use the inverse of sin FI over BF, which means the inverse of sin. You know that FI is 3.02 and BF is the square root of 15 squared plus 5.7 squared. So the answer for this is 10.9 degrees. E. The prism is made of plastic with density 938 kilograms per cubic meters. Calculate the mass of the prism in grams, knowing that density is equal to mass divided by the volume. From question 2, we know that the volume of the prism is 145 cubic centimeters. And we want to find the mass in grams. So for the density, 938 kilograms per cubic meters. We need to convert it to grams per cubic centimeters. To convert from kilogram to grams, we multiply this by 1,000. And to convert from cubic meter to cubic centimeters, we multiply by 1 million. Because 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So 1 cubic meter is 1 million cubic centimeters. And this is 0.938 grams per cubic centimeters. And from D equals mass divided by volume, we know that the mass is equal to the density multiplied by the volume. The density is 0.938 and the volume is 145. So the answer for this is 136.01 grams. Question 3. The table shows information about the mass of each of 1,000 eggs. So we calculate the estimate of the mean. To find the mean, we need to use the middle value of each interval. For example, 40 plus 50 is 90. 90 divided by 2 is 45. So we say that the middle value for this interval is 45. and we'll multiply 45 by the frequency 126. For the second one, 50 plus 56 is 106. 106 divided by 2 is 53. And 53 multiplied by the frequency 520. Next, 56 plus 64 is 120. 120 divided by 2 is 60. 60 multiplied by 154. And finally, 64 plus 70 is 134. 134 divided by 2 is 67. 67 multiplied by the frequency 200. Then we divide all of this by the total frequency, which means 1000 eggs. So I'll divide it by 1000. And the answer is 55.87 grams. Second question. An egg is picked at random from 1000 eggs. Find the probability that this egg has a mass greater than 56 grams. Give your answer as a fraction in simplest form. So first of all, we need to check how many eggs has a mass greater than 56 grams. That interval is here. There are 154 plus 200 equals 354 eggs like that. And the total number of eggs is 1000. So the probability is 354 out of 1000. And when we simplify this, it will be 177 over 500 because we divide two numbers by 2. So the final answer is 177 over 500. Question B. 1 year, a farmer makes a profit of 24,730 selling eggs. Write this profit correct to two significant figures. So this is the first significant digit, the second significant digit. So we round it to the nearest thousand. 730. We round it to the nearest thousand. And the digit right after it is 7. This means we need to round 24,000 up to 25,000. Second question. We write this profit in standard form. In standard form, you know that the standard form has the form of a multiplied by 10 to the power of n. And your a must be a number between 1 and 10. Greater than or equal to 1 but less than 10. So we'll check. At first, the decimal point is here. Then we move it to the left 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. So the answer is 2.473 multiplied by 10 to the power 4. Because we move it 4 times to the left, we move the decimal point 4 times to the left. C. On a farm, there are 500 hens. Correct to the nearest 10. In 1 year, the mean number of eggs laid per hen was 320 eggs. Correct to the nearest 20. This is the number of eggs laid per hen. Calculate the upper bound for the total number of eggs on the hens laid in that year. So first, we'll find the upper and lower bound of 500 hens. To do this, we'll divide 10 by 2 equals 5 hens. And the number of hens should be lower than 500 plus 5 and greater than or equal to 500 minus 5 hens. So the number of hens is between 505 and 495. Second, the mean number of x is 320x, correct to the nearest 20. So we divide 20 by 2 equals 10x. Then the number of x is between 320 plus 10 and 320 minus 10. So the mean number of x laid per hand is from 310 to less than 330. And if we want to find the total number of x, the total number of x is equal to the number of hands multiplied by the number of x laid per hand, right? And the upper bound of the total is equal to the upper bound of the number of hands multiplied by the upper bound of the number of x laid per hand, which means we multiply 505 and 330 together. 505 multiplied by 330. So the answer is 166,650 x. Second question. Another farm has 800 hens, correct to the nearest 20, which means we divide 20 by 2 equals 10 hens. And the number of hens in this case is between 800 minus 10 and 800 plus 10, which means the number of hens is greater than or equal to 790 and less than 810 on this farm. And now we need to find the lower bound for the difference between the number of hens on the two farms. So in the first farm, the number of hens, I would say this is the first farm. The number of hens is between 495 and 505. And in the second farm, the number of hens is between 790 and 810. So, to find the lower bound of the difference of the number of hens on the two farms, then we need to use the lower bound of the second farm, subtract the upper bound of the first farm, which means we subtract 505 from 790. The lower bound of the second farm is 790 minus the upper bound of the first farm is 505. So the answer is 285 hens. Question 4. A. The first one, calculate the area of triangle PQR. This is very simple. 1/2 of the base multiplied by the height, which means 1/2 of 24 multiplied by 8 equals 96 square centimeters. Second question, calculate angle PRQ. PRQ is this angle. For this angle, we see that QR is adjacent and PQ is opposite. So opposite over adjacent means we use tan. Tan of PRQ is equal to PQ opposite over adjacent QR. So the angle PRQ is equal to the inverse of tan PQ over QR, which means the inverse of tan PQ is 8 and QR is 24. And the answer is 18.4 degrees. B. The diagram shows a half cylinder of radius 6 centimeters and length 11 centimeters. Calculate the volume of this half cylinder. So you know that the volume of a half cylinder is equal to the area of the cross section multiplied by the length. In this case, the area of the cross section is this semicircle, and the area of the semicircle is 1/2 of pi r squared multiplied by the length. In this case, is 11 centimeters. So I will substitute radius 6 centimeters and the length 11 centimeters. So the answer is 198 pi, which means 622 cubic centimeters. C. ABCD is a rectangle. AB is 20, BC is 15 centimeters. S, X, and T are points on the circle center O such that DSA and DTC are tangents to the circle. The radius of the circle is 4 centimeters and TX is the diameter. The shape DSXT is removed from the corner of the rectangle, leaving the shaded shape shown in the second diagram. Calculate the area of the shaded shape. So first, I will divide the shape into two parts. The red square. The area of the shape of the square DSOT is equal to the side square. The side is 4 centimeters. So 4 squared is 16 square centimeters. Then we'll find the area of the yellow part. The yellow part is 3/4 of the circle. So I'll use the yellow. The area of the 3/4 of circle is equal to 3/4 multiplied by pi r squared, which means 3/4 multiplied by pi 4 squared. And this one is 12 pi square centimeters. Then we also know that the area of the whole rectangle ABCD, area of ABCD is equal to the length multiplied by the width, which is 300 square centimeters. And now the area of the shaded shape. The area of the shaded shape is equal to the area of the whole rectangle, subtract the area of the square and 3/4 of the circle. So we say that the area of the shaded part is equal to 300 minus the sum of 16 and 12 pi. So the answer for this is 246 square centimeters. Second question, calculate the perimeter of the shaded shape. We see that the perimeter of the shaded shape is equal to the perimeter of the rectangle ABCD, the whole rectangle. Then we subtract the two small sides. Subtract DS and subtract DT. And then we need to add up 3/4 of the circumference of the circle, which means the perimeter of the rectangle ABCD is 20 plus 15, then we multiply by 2. Then we subtract 4 and 4. And finally, we add 3/4 of 2 pi r. 2 pi r, which means 2 pi times 4. So that is the perimeter of the shaded shape. I'll write it again. 20 plus 15 multiplied by 2. This is the area of the whole rectangle. Then we subtract 4 and 4, which means the side dt and ds. And then we add up 3/4 of the circumference of the circle, which means 3/4 of 2 pi r. So the answer is 80.8 centimeters. Question 5. There are 160 people in a village. The cumulative frequency diagram shows the information about their ages. The horizontal line shows the age in years and the vertical line shows the cumulative frequency. A. Find the median age. You know the median age means the 50 percentile of the total 160, which means we find the 80. So we'll start from 80 and then we move to the right. Then we move down. So the median age is something between 20 and 30, which is 25. B. Find the lower quartile, which means 25% of 160. It is 40. So I'll start from 40. I move to the right, and then I move down. So it is around 17.5. So this one is 17.5. C. The number of people who are 50 or more years of age. So let's check 50 or more. 50 is here. We'll start from 50 and we go up until we touch this point. Then we move it to the left. Here it is. This is the number of people who are 50 or more. This black mark is 148. So 160 minus 148 equals 12. So I'll write 160 minus 148 equals 12 people. D. I'll use the green. The 65th percentile. 65% multiplied by 160 is 104. So let's find 104. This is 104. Here it is. So we will move 104. We move it to the right until we touch this point. Then we move it down. And the answer is 30 years. So we write 30 years as the final answer. Second question. The youngest person in the village is 1 year old, and the oldest is 70 years old. So this is the minimum value, and this is the maximum value. To draw a box and whisker plot, we also need to find lower quartile, median, and upper quartile. From the first question, we know that the lower quartile is 17.5 and the median is 25. Then we need to find the upper quartile, Q3. To find the upper quartile, we'll go back to the diagram and we find 75% of 160. It is 120. So we start from 120 and we move it down to find the upper quartile. So the upper quartile is here, 34. So now we have the value of Q3, which is 34. So now we can draw the box and whisker plot. First of all, the minimum value is 1. Here it is, 1. And the maximum value is 70 years. Here it is. Now, Q1, the lower quartile is 17.5. 17.5 is here. Then the median is 25. Here it is. And the upper quartile is 34. 34. Here it is. So we draw a box for it. And that's how we complete the box and whisker plot. B. Write down an estimate of the percentage of people in the village that are younger than the median age. You know the median age is 25 years. So let's check the diagram. 25 years is corresponding to 80 people. So the one who are younger than 25 years old will be this section, 80 people. And the total number of people is 160. So the probability is 80 out of 160 equals 1/2. And 1/2 means 50%. B. The frequency table shows the information about the age of each person in another village. So we need to draw the histogram to show this information. For the histogram, we need to find the frequency density, and it is equal to the frequency divided by the class width. So let's find the frequency density for each of this. For the first interval, the frequency is 52 divided by class width, which is 20 minus 0 is 20. So it is 2.6. So the first one is here, 2.6. Now for the second one, the frequency is 37 divided by the class width is 30 minus 20 equals 37 divided by 10 is 3.7. So for the second one, we need to draw a column of 3.7. And then for the third interval, the frequency is 24 divided by the class width is 50 minus 30, which is 24 divided by 20 equals 1.2. Finally, for the last interval, the frequency 60 divided by the class width 80 minus 50. It is 60 divided by 30 equals 2. So now we'll use this table to draw the frequency density diagram. The second interval is from 20 to 30. From 20 to 30. And the next interval is from 30 to 50. 30 to 50. Finally, from 50 to 80. Alright, so the second column is 3.7. 3.5, 6, and 7 here. This one is 3.7. The next column is 1.2. 1.2 is here. And finally, the last column is 2. And that's it for question 5. Question 6. In the square ABCD, A has coordinates negative 2, 1. Negative 2, 1 is here. This is the point A. And B has coordinates 1, 5. 1, 5 is here. This is the point B. C has coordinates AB, where A and B are both positive integers. Find the coordinates of C and D. A, B, C, D is a square. So first I'll join A and B together. So to find the point C and D, we need to draw a square. And for the line AB, we see that the rise is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The rise is 8. And the run is 3, 4, 5, 6. The run is 6. So from B, we need to draw a rise of negative 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So C is here. And then you know that the side CD is parallel to the line AB, so it has the same gradient. So rise is 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the run is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here it is. So this is the point D. Because we know that in the point C, both numbers are positive integers. So the first one, 5, 2 is C. And the point D is 2, negative 2. So the answer is 5, 2. 2, negative 2. Question B. P has coordinates negative 1, 3, and Q has coordinates 6, 4. Find the coordinates of the midpoint. To find the midpoint, we just find the average of negative 1 and 6, then the average of 3 and 4. Negative 1 plus 6 is 5. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Second question, find the length of PQ. PQ is equal to the square root of xq minus xp squared plus yq minus yp squared. So we just substitute xq is 6, xp is negative 1, plus yq is 4, and yp is 3. So this one is 5 root 2, but we should write 7.07. Number 3, find the gradient of PQ. The gradient of PQ is equal to YQ minus YP over XQ minus XP. Difference in Y over difference in X. YQ is 4 minus YP 3. XQ is 6 subtract XP negative 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. 6 plus 1 is 7, so the gradient is 1/7. Number 4, find the equation of the line parallel to PQ and crosses the x-axis at 2, 0, which means this line, the line we want to find, has two properties. First, it is parallel to PQ. Or we can say the gradient of this is equal to the gradient of PQ. Second, it crosses the x-axis at x equals 2, which means it passes through the point 2, 0. So we use these two properties to find this line. First, the gradient of this line is equal to the gradient of PQ, which is 1/7. Next, the general form of the equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c. Now we substitute the point 2, 0 into this. Y is 0, x is 2, and the gradient is 1/7. plus c. So c is equal to 0 minus 2/7 equals negative 2/7. So the gradient is 1/7 and the y-intercept is negative 2/7. So the general form is 1/7 x minus 2/7. Question 7. Factorize fully. The first one, the common factor of 27 and 3 is 3. So we have 27 divided by 3 equals 9 y squared minus 3 divided by 3 is 1. And we also see that 9y squared means 3y all squared minus 1. 1 means 1 squared. So now it has the form a squared minus b squared. So it is 3 multiplied by 3y minus 1 and 3y plus 1. This is the final answer. Number 2. We'll find the common factor of 2m and pq, but they have no common factor. So we can regroup it. I'll group 2m and 2k together. Then minus pk minus pm. The common factor of 2m and 2k is 2. Then we have m plus k. Subtract the common factor of pk and pm is p. Then we have k plus m left. Now the common factor of them is m plus k. And 2 minus p. M plus k. 2 minus p. Question B. Solve this equation. First, we see that they have different denominators, so we need to write it as the common denominator. X minus 1 multiplied by x minus 1. Subtract 6 multiplied by x plus 1. And the common denominator is x plus 1, x minus 1 equals 1. For the numerator, x minus 1 times x minus 1, it is x squared minus 2x plus 1. Subtract 6x minus 6. And for the denominator, we have x plus 1 times x minus 1, which is x squared minus 1 equals 1. Now we cross multiply x squared minus 1 and 1. For the numerator, we still keep x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 6x minus 6 equals x squared minus 1. Now we cancel x squared and x squared. Then we have negative 2x minus 6x is negative 8x. 1 minus 6 means negative 5 equals negative 1. And now, negative 8x minus 5 equals negative 1. So we add 5 to both sides. Negative 1 plus 5 is 4. Then we divide both sides by negative 8. So it is negative 1/2, or you can write negative 0.5. C. Solve for x squared minus 3x minus 2. You must show only working and give your answers correct to 2 decimal places. In this case, A is the coefficient of x squared, B is the coefficient of x, and C is the constant, negative 2. And according to the quadratic formula, x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a equals negative b. B is negative 3 plus or minus the square root. B squared means negative 3 squared minus 4 times A. A is 4 and C is negative 2 over 2A, which means 2 times 4. And the answer is 1.18 or negative 0.43. Correct to 2 decimal places. D. Make k the subject of the formula. First, when we see something like this, we should cross-multiply them. K is equal to m multiplied by 4 plus kp, which means k is equal to m times 4 is 4m. M times kp is kmp. And now we want to make k the subject, so I will move kmp to the left. K subject kmp is equal to 4m. Then I factorize. K is a common factor. Then we have 1 minus mp left equals 4m. Then, to make k the subject, we divide both sides by 1 minus mp. So this is the final answer, 4m over 1 minus mp. Question 8. A tailor makes X dresses and Y shirts in 1 week. In 1 week, he makes at least 4 dresses. At least 4 dresses, which means X is bigger than or equal to 4. He makes no more than 7 shirts, which means Y is smaller than or equal to 7. He makes less than 14 dresses and shirts altogether, which means X plus Y is less than 14. And finally, the number of shirts he makes is more than 2/3 of the number of dresses. Shirts means Y is more than 2/3 of the number of dresses, 2/3 of X. So the last line is Y greater than 2/3 of X. So we just write down the 3 inequalities. The first one is given, X is greater than or equal to 4. The second is Y is less than or equal to 7. The third is X plus Y smaller than 14. And the last one is Y greater than 2/3 of X. B. On the grid, draw 4 straight lines and shade the unwanted regions to show these inequalities. Label the region R that satisfies the 4 inequalities. So the first inequality is a red line. X is greater than or equal to 4. X is greater than or equal to 4. It is a solid line because there is an equal sign. This one, because we want X to be greater than or equal to 4, so we will remove the left-hand side, which means X is less than 4. We remove this. Then, for the second inequality, Y is less than or equal to 7. This is a solid line. And because we want Y to be less than or equal to 7, so we keep the lower part and we remove the upper part. Next, X plus Y is less than 14. X plus Y. To draw this, we can draw a table of values. When we'll draw the line X plus Y equals 14 first. When X is 0, Y is 14. And when Y is 0, X is 14. So, because there's no equal sign in this case, so we draw a broken line. So I'll plot the point 0, 14. Here it is. And the point 14, 0 here. So we'll join them together using broken line because there's no equal sign. This is the line X plus Y equals 14. And if X plus Y is less than 14, this means Y is less than 14 minus X. So we want the lower part, then I'll remove the upper part. Finally, for the last one, I'll draw the line y is equal to 2/3 of x. Similarly, I'll draw a table of values for this. When x is 0, y is 0. When x is 3, y is 2. So we'll plot the point 0, 0, and 3, 2. 0, 0 is here. 3, 2 is here. And there's no equal sign in this inequality, so we also draw a broken line. And you know that we want y to be greater than 2/3 of x, which means we want the upper part, so I'll remove the lower part. And the region R is this one. Solid red, solid blue, broken black, and broken purple line. This is the region R. C. Use your diagram to find the smallest number of dresses and the smallest number of shirts Taylor makes in 1 week, which means we want X to be the smallest, and Y is also the smallest value. So let's check in the region R. The smallest value for X and Y is here. This is the question C. The smallest value for X and Y. So this means X equals 4 and Y equals 3. X equals 4 and Y equals 3. Which means we want 4 dresses and 3 shirts. D. The profit that Taylor makes on 1 dress is $10. And the profit on 1 shirt is $6. Use your diagram to find the largest profit that Taylor can make in 1 week. You know that the profit of 1 dress is $10. So if you have X dresses, then it is 10X, the profit of X dresses. And the profit of 1 shirt is $6. So if you have Y shirts, the profit is 6Y. And we want this profit. This is the profit. We want it to be the largest. I want the maximum value. So in this case, you see that 10x plus 6y, and we want the largest value for this. And 10 is bigger than 6, so we need to prioritize x. X should be the biggest value, and y is also the biggest value, but we need to prioritize x. We'll prioritize x. So let's check the region R. The largest value of x is 8. And we have 2 points like that, but the largest value for y is 6. So we choose the point 7, 6. So x equals 7 and y equals 6. And the profit is equal to 10 multiplied by 7 plus 6 multiplied by 6 equals 70 plus 36 equals $106. Question 9. The Venn diagram shows set x and set y. List on the elements of x. This is very easy. In x, we have the elements R, L, T, E, A. Now we find the number of elements in the set not y. The set not y is the yellow section. And in this set, there are only 2 members that are R and L. So the number of elements in the set is 2. B. In the Venn diagram, shade the required region. P union Q means we shade the whole of P and the whole of Q. The second, not P intersection Q. This means first I will shade Q. And then I remove the part that is not in P. So I remove this. C. The universal set is the set of positive integers that is less than 13, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Stop. A is a set that is smaller than 9, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Stop. B is a set of even numbers, so B includes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. D is a set of multiple of 3, so it consists of 3, 6, 9, and 12. Okay, so now we need to complete the Venn diagram. Look at the set A, B, and C. Let's check what is in common of them. The number 6 appears in the 3 sets, and that is the only number that appears in 3 sets. So 6 is in the intersection of A, B, and C. Then we'll check what A and B have in common. That is 2, 4, 6, and 8. So we'll write 2, 4, and 8 in the intersection of A and B. 2, 4, and 8. Next, we will check what B and C have in common. B and C have 12 and 6, but we already wrote 6, so we only have 12 left for the intersection of B and C. Finally, we'll check what A and C have in common. B, A, and C, they have number 3. And that is the only number. So only the number 3 is in the intersection of A and C. And now we'll check what A have left. In the set A, we have the number 1, 5, and 7 left. In the set B, we have the number 10 left. In the set C, we have the number 9 left. And let's check, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 numbers. So there's still one number left in the universal set that is not belong to A, B, or C. And that number is 11. So 11 will be here. Second question, find the number of elements in the set, not A union B intersection C. So first we need to find B intersection C. B intersection C is this one. And we shade the whole of this. And then we also want not A. So we shade the whole of not A. And let's count how many elements in the set. The first one, 9, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are 5 elements. The set not A union B intersection C includes 6, 12, 9, 10, and 11. So there are 5 elements in the set. Question 10. F of x is equal to x minus 4. So let's find f of negative 3. F of negative 3 is equal to, we'll substitute x equals negative 3, minus 4 equals negative 7. Second question, find the inverse of g. You know g of x means y equals to x plus 5. To find the inverse of this, we'll change y to x and we change x to y. Then we'll make y the subject by subtracting both sides by 5. Then to make y the subject, we'll divide both sides by 2. So this one is the inverse function of g. The answer is x minus 5 over 2. Number 3. F of x means x minus 4. Multiplied by g of x means 2x plus 5. Then multiplied by f of x means x minus 4 again. In this case, you can multiply x by 2x, it is 2x squared. X multiplied by 5 is 5x. Negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Then we multiply this by x minus 4. We simplify this brackets. 5x minus 8x is negative 3x minus 20. Multiplied by x minus 4. Now we multiply 2x squared times x is 2x cubed minus 2x squared times 4 is minus 8x squared. Negative 3x times x is negative 3x squared. Negative 3x times negative 4 is positive 12x. Negative 20 times x is negative 20x. Negative 20 times negative 4 is positive 80. Now let's simplify this. 2x cubed. Negative 8 minus 3 is negative 11. 12 minus 20 is negative 8 plus 80. So this is the final answer. 2x cubed minus 11x squared minus 8x plus 80. B. Find x when h of x is equal to g of f2. H of x is 3 to the power of x. The left-hand side is 3 to the power of x. The right-hand side, first we need to determine f of 2. F of 2 means f is x minus 4, so f of 2 means x minus 4. B. Find x when h of x is equal to g of f of 2. So first we write down f of 2 and then we write down g of f of 2. H of x is 3 to the power of x. H of x is 3 to the power of x. F of 2 is x minus 4, which means 2 minus 4 equals negative 2. So g of this means g of negative 2. And you know g is 2x plus 5. So this is 2 times negative 2 plus 5, which is negative 4 plus 5 equals 1. So the left-hand side is 3 to the power of x, and the right-hand side is 1. And 1 means 3 to the power of 0, so x is equal to 0. This is the end of the test.